my boys and girls away. Farewell to college joys, we sail at break of day, to our last night on shore. Drink to the foam until we meet once more. Here's wishing you a happy voyage home. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles on the land as on the sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines.
What a wonderful job. Thank you so much. Glad to have you back this year. Now, what we've been waiting for, RailFest 2010. This year, our theme is passenger rail service, past and present. And I think it's very clear as you look around, we have the present. Right behind me is our Scranton Limited, our short train ride that we'll be operating all day today and tomorrow, pulled with a vintage steam locomotive. We also have behind where you're standing is our 3254. Should be doing duty also in the yard today. And as you drove into the park today, we had a surprise for everybody. We didn't get rid of all those steam engines that were out there. You'll see them a little later as you tour the park. They're located behind our locomotive shop, undergoing an asbestos abatement program. Maybe some of you saw that on the news. It was a little sensationalized and said we might not have this event because of the asbestos. But I assure you, the asbestos is being abated in closed doors and so forth. But the surprise was that our friends from Amtrak, our strong partners for many years here at the park, supporting numerous programs that we offer each year. And that train came up from Washington, D.C., up to Albany, down through Binghamton, arrived last night, and we kept it all intact and brought it all the way through our core complex and put it out in the premier display area. You'll get a chance to tour that train today to look at railroading present. And I'll give you a little teaser, and you have to ask the train crew, and my friends at Amtrak, I hope I have the numbers correct, but I was told last night by their head dispatcher that they dispatch 1,400 trains a day out of Penn Central Station, New York. That's no small feat. And I think the gentleman told me they move more passengers in one day out of New York than all the 3 major airports in the area there. So hats off to Amtrak. Good partners. We have an awful lot of other partners that I want to recognize too a little bit that make this event possible. But I want to highlight some of the other equipment that's here. Not only our own stable of steam, passenger cars, business car, railway postal car, our technical museum, our history museum, and so forth. But we have Norfolk Southern number 999, a battery diesel locomotive over here on the turntable. We have the DL&W F3 diesel locomotives from Tri-State and National Railway Historical Society and the Anthracite Railroads. They're on display sporting new Lackawanna colors. The Reading Company FP7 units are out of the park presently. Talk about railroading in the past, blending with the present. That train left here at 7 a.m. this morning and went to East Stroudsburg. She'll pick up a few hundred passengers and return here at the park just before noon, bringing more guests for the event today. And the train will be freshened up, and you'll be able to ride it to Moscow at 1 o'clock and return to the park about 2 hours later. And then we'll freshen the train up one more time at the end of the day and take all of our visitors that arrive by train back to East Stroudsburg at the end of the day. But while you're here, we also have the Canadian Pacific SD90 Mac Diesel. It's one of the largest diesel locomotives down from Canada. They brought also an Olympic container car sporting colors to commemorate this year's Olympics. And if you look closely, almost every employee of the CP Railroad has their signature on the side of the car. Can't forget our good partners, the Delaware-Lackawanna Railroad. Without them, we couldn't operate our excursions and provide that visitor experience on a daily basis. Right next to us is the Chuck Reed Miller number 405, commemorating a great partner of the Delaware-Lackawanna Railroad. There'll be more about that later. But she's looking good, all painted up and nice and clean. We'll also have, on a smaller scale, our live steamers operating behind the roundhouse. You get to see a live steam scale model operating locomotive and consist. We have the Frank Berry photo exhibit upstairs in our exhibit building. We have the Lackawanna Heritage Valley Authority exhibit, the Pennsylvania Anthracite Heritage Museum and Iron Furnaces exhibit, Everhart Museum exhibit, Lackawanna State Parks has an exhibit. Amtrak will also have, we'll have two rangers here to talk about their Trails to Rails program. And for everybody, kids and adults alike, don't forget the Lego exhibit by Ken Lug Lego over in our History Museum, right to your left. Last but not least, the Erie Lackawanna dining car is on display on the other side of our parking lot. And what a fine piece of equipment that is. And that'll be open for tours also today. As I mentioned, to pull off an event like this, it takes an awful lot of effort, a lot of partners. We can't do it alone here at Steamtown. I have one of the best organizations here in the Park Service, I believe, in my opinion. I've been in the Park Service 34 years. My paid staff, volunteers, seasonals, and of course our partners make all this possible. I want to recognize the Lackawanna Heritage Valley Authority and its board of directors, whomever is here today. Natalie Soffinelli is the executive director. The Canadian Pacific Railway, another strong partner of ours. They bring their Christmas train in here each fall, or the first weekend in December, right after Thanksgiving, and have helped us sponsor trips over the Nicholson Viaduct and most recently to Sunbury for the NHS convention back in June. Also, working with the Delaware-Lackawanna Railroad, the Pennsylvania Northeast Regional Rail Authority and its board of directors, and Larry Mikmowski, the executive director. They are most instrumental to making all this possible for us to run on their track on the Pocono, Maine, and provide that experience for the visitor. I mentioned the Genesee Valley Transportation Company, which is the Delaware-Lackawanna Railroad Pocono division here in Scranton, with David Monteverdi as the president of that company. Another strong partner of ours that helps us with the programs, interpretive education programs, the Lackawanna County Historical Society and its trustees and executive director, Marianne Sepekinis, is here today. Another strong partner from the area is Chester Calusa, the site manager of the Pennsylvania Anthracite Heritage Museum and Iron Furnaces. The Lackawanna County Trolley Museum, which is also on our campus on the west end of the park. They'll be operating electric trolleys all day today, which will be another venue for the visitor. The Lackawanna and Wyoming Valley chapter of the National Railway Historical Society and their volunteers always helping us with the refreshments at Moscow, helping us restore the Boston to Maine locomotive, rail camp, and numerous other programs in the park. The Everhart Museum, Neska Pfeiffer, has always been there to help us with exhibitry, traveling exhibits to the park. The Lackawanna State Parks are here with a exhibit upstairs. And as I mentioned, the Amtrak Rails program really joined up with us and have made a lot of things possible that we couldn't do it alone. So I want to thank that group that has worked with our staff tirelessly year-round. They just don't meet 2 months before this event. We'll start meeting on next year's event later this month. Last but not least, this is the second year we partnered up with the Italian Festival that's going on downtown Scranton today. And Chris DiMatteo, who is the president of La Festa Italiana Committee, he's also president of Unico, the organization that he is very proud of, and some of their members are here today with us. Chris, he's one of the busiest guys I know. He's running in a million directions. The Italian Festival, it takes up an awful lot of time, as you can see if you've been over there. with all the events and the vendors, and yet still he has time to work with us to make this possible. So I'd like to extend some appreciation to Chris if he come up to the podium.